so much for joining us here today for this promotion celebration and ceremony we've got in store for you. First of all, let me welcome you and thank you so much for coming out and supporting us in this effort. Before we get started, I'd like to start off with an invocation. I'd like to ask Captain Thomas Presley to come lead us as we get started.
Thank you, Chief. If I can get everybody to bow our heads, please. Dear Heavenly and Gracious Father, we are humble before you in your presence, and we beseech you at this time. We ask for your blessing on this ceremony as it is intended to be, one of joy and excitement, of hope and change. We ask for your blessing upon the new promotees. We ask that you give them strength and wisdom and courage. Give them the leadership capabilities they need as they move into this new endeavor in their lives, so that they may lead with strong will, but do as you say, in your will. We ask you now also to bless the families that are here and the friends. Give them the blessing of encouragement that they can be for the new promotees that are going through, because they'll face struggles, both good and bad. And let them be there to be able to support and give them advice as well. We now ask all of this blessing in your precious Son's name, Jesus. Amen.
As we get started, let me first of all thank all the guests here. There's some very special guests with us. Mayor Tommy Battle, City Administrator John Hamilton, distinguished members, City Council member here. I see Richard Showers over here. Dr. Showers, glad to have you here. Citizen Advisory Council members here. There's too many just to go through the list. Thank you so much for supporting us and all that you do. Not just coming to these ceremonies, but you support us throughout your career and throughout the way you interact with us and help us. So thank you so much for being here. Let me introduce you this time, the Honorable Mayor Tommy Battle.
Thank you. And when we asked several weeks ago, Chief Morris finally said seriously that he was going to leave after we had begged him to stay on several times. And we started talking about someone to seamlessly come in behind him who could make this a great department, keep it being a great department, and make us as good as we could ever be. And we're so glad to have Chief Mark McMurray in that slot now, taking over and doing what I would call a seamless transition. And Lewis, thank you for all the work that you have done in this transition. I'd like to also recognize here Jeanne Robinson, one of our city council members who just came in. Jeanne, glad to have you here. Howard Sanderford, House Representative member, great supporter of our law enforcement. Thank you for being here. And I saw in the background over there John Olszewski, who was a former city council member, just came off city council and is now is a community leader and working with Huntsville Utilities. John, thank you for being here. You know, this is a very special time. We're bringing new blood into the command staff of the Huntsville Police Department. And you're going to be commanding some men who have three missions. Number one and foremost is serve and protect. Number two is to go home safe. And number three is not get on YouTube. You know, and that is the new day that we have here in law enforcement. And when we start looking at it, I can't think of anybody else who I'd want to lead our young men and young ladies of the Huntsville Police Department than this command staff who is here and over here. To each of you, I say thank you for the job that you're going to be doing or the job that you're doing now. Thank you to your families for putting up with you as you go through this, because it's not easy. And on the day-to-day basis, we'll have the good days, we'll have the bad days, but I want to tell you, we're here to work with you, we're here to support you, we're here to make sure that this is a great city, the same goals that you have, and we'll work with you in any way that we can. This administration works with you and supports you. Thank you for what you do on a day-to-day basis. Thanks to the family who is here, because the families are the ones who really have to go through the trials and tribulations that we all go through, and have to go through them silently sometimes, and many times alone, at home alone, when we're out there trying to make sure that the right things happen. Thank you to each of you. And gentlemen and ladies, congratulations. I think this is a great thing for our department, and you are going to make us even better than we are tomorrow than what we are today. Thank you.
All right, to kick the ceremony off like we like to do, I want to introduce the Hpd Color Guard, and we want to do a presentation of color, and then at the appropriate time, Captain Mike Izzo will lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance once the flag is posted. Color Guard. Troops, attention.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please take your seats.
Color Guard and the Honor Guard are some very distinguished members of the Huntsville Police Department. They serve not just for on-duty officers who need their service, but retired officers as well. It's a very large unit, and we're very fortunate that under Chief Lewis Morris, by the way, who's here, thank you, Chief, for both helping me with this transition, but also with equipping our Color Guard with our brand new uniforms. I'd like to present them at this time. That was the Color Guard, but I'd like to show off also our Honor Guard here to our right. Before we get started, I'd like to say also that we have some special ceremonies in place. We do the Police Officers Memorial every year. We have our own Fallen Officer Memorial in front of the Police Service Building. And I'd like to also just take 10 seconds to remember tomorrow is the 10th anniversary of our fallen officer, Daniel Golden. And so we'll be draping our badges tomorrow for 24 hours of remembrance. And I'd like to just take 10 seconds of silence in his behalf. Thank you. And if you don't mind, remember him and his family tomorrow as well. Thank you again for everyone being here. As we start this off, let me thank you for joining us in what is, we call it a celebration, but it's an important accomplishment, as Mayor pointed out. This is not only in their lives, but in their careers, which is really the same thing for a police officer. They're intertwined together. This promotion highlights their past accomplishments, and it's kind of a reward for that, but it also shows that they professionally demonstrated their ability for aptitude, their aptitude to be challenged to another higher level. And they are going to be challenged. I promise you, each one of you officers who are taking this challenge upon yourself, you're going to find out there's a whole lot more involved in supervision as you go up. So I want to thank Chief Giles, who's right here behind me. Deputy Chief Giles assisted me, and Chief Morris with expediting these promotions in probably the fastest manner we've ever done, to have these 8 promotees and then a new chief at the same time. We worked a lot of long hours in human resources, and Byron Thomas helped us out with that. It wasn't just an HPD effort, is what I'm saying. The entire city came together to make sure we had the command staff on place so that, guess what, Monday, all the staff is in place, and everyone has their new challenges ahead of them. So it took everyone to make this possible. So thank you so much for all of that. First one I want to recognize is a promotion from captain to Deputy Chief of Police. And I'd like to ask Corey Harris, would you please come up here? Stand next to me. Captain Harris came from us with actually in 2000, but there's a whole lot more to Captain Harris than that. We stole him from the Madison Police Department. In fact, he has over 25 years of law enforcement experience, working in both the state of Illinois, Missouri, and he's a very experienced veteran in the law enforcement field. He's also a veteran of the United States Army. Corey has served in various units throughout our department. He was the South Precinct Commander up until Monday, when he's going to take on a new role as the Services Bureau. And what he'll be doing is hiring, training, the police academy, and all support services in the Huntsville Police Department are going to fall on him. Very big job. So thank you, Deputy Chief. I'm glad to have you at my side once again.
Thank you, sir. No pressure.
Okay. Lieutenant Rice, would you come forward, please? Lieutenant Rice and I go back quite a ways. In fact, I recruited him when he was first a sergeant to come work for me. I liked him then. I still love him now. He's loyal. He's hardworking, and we work together very, very closely in our past year here. He's actually served our department since 1998, but before that, he was a police officer at Alabama A&M and Hartsville Police Department, so he has a long history. He's been recognized for numerous accomplishments and a whole bunch of city boards that he sits on. He represents the police department in some boards that requires a lot of extra time on his part. Captain Rice was the Special Operations Lieutenant, but Monday he'll be a captain with the Huntsville Police Department, and he'll also be commanding the North Precinct of the Huntsville Police Department, that newest building on North Precinct. Captain Rice, I'm proud of you. Glad to have you on our team. Michael Danley, would you come forward, please? Officer Danley came to us in October 2000. We got him from the Florence Police Department. Now, I'm telling you all this, kind of a funny segue also. Today we're announcing a new lateral opening program, and we're going to go out there and grab the biggest, best, brightest police officers in the state of Alabama. We're going to bring them back to Huntsville starting today. Yes. And thank you, Mayor, because he ran this on a fast track with us with the Human Resources Department. Once again, Byron, my hero, helped us with this. And what a great way to plus up our numbers with men and women who are out there doing this job. We're even offering pay incentives to come to Huntsville. And so here's another good example, and I could just go on and on about these guys. He actually went through a new hire service because he wanted, so we actually did not grab Officer Danley from the lateral program, but you actually went through the full academy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And so he worked throughout the precincts. He also worked heavily in our field training officer program, and he'll assume the responsibility of third shift lieutenant at the West Precinct. Congratulations, Sergeant Michael Danley.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Michael T. Johnson. Sergeant Johnson, if you know Sergeant Johnson, you may have a DUI on your record somewhere. He came to us from the DUI task force. Not only was he good, the DUI task force is 17 years in a row is #1 in the state of Alabama. So he knows what being good is all about, and he led that unit with distinction. He came to us in 1998. He served in various units throughout his career, most recently DUI, as I mentioned. He was able to earn his Juris Doctorate degree and has passed the bar exam. Is that right? No? Working on it? Okay. I thought he's working. We're going to get you a law degree, too, when it's through. Very big accomplishment. He is going to be the third shift lieutenant at the North Precinct starting Monday. So congratulations, Michael Johnson. Officer Tesla Hughes, come forward, please. Sure did. Skipped over one. I'll get back to. What's the use of having a script anyway, right? Officer Hughes came to us. I have too much to talk about this officer, so I'm going to make it real quick. You have her badge here. I don't know how to abbreviate what she's accomplished. She came to us in 2007. She was been in the STAC unit, which is a high-intensity drug unit, since 2012. Numerous commendations. She made our department really proud by winning 3 golds, 2 silvers in the swimming competition at the World Police and Fire Games in 2013 held in Northern Ireland. Then again, she went back and won 2 more silver medals on the next round in the Police Olympics. So she's an award-winning in many capacities. She makes us proud in so many ways, and she represents this department well. Monday, we're going to promote her to sergeant. She'll be the 2nd shift West Precinct sergeant. Congratulations, Sergeant Hughes. Dewayne McCarver, come up here for a second. I owe you an apology. I got to check the badge, make sure you get promoted to the right rank. Lieutenant McCarver, again, I could go on and on because we have worked close together in the past, but he began his career as a ranger in 1992. Now, rangers aren't paid. They wear a uniform. They ride with officers, but it's a volunteer program. He's been employed with our department since 1995. He commanded the STAC Hpd unit that I was talking about that Sergeant Hughes was on. So during that time, he was instrumental in writing and overseeing multiple grants which provided our department with valuable resources in fighting drugs and violent criminals. He received numerous Supervisor Employee of the Year awards. He's a recipient of the Purple Heart for injuries sustained in the line of duty. And as of Monday, he's going to be the South Precinct Commander as Captain Dewayne McCarver. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. Officer Terry Lucas. Officer Lucas, congratulations. You came to us from the U.S. Border Patrol. Now, you wouldn't know it, but he's also our Spanish interpreter. We use him all over the department, and he's very instrumental. He came to us from the STAC Hpd units where he's been working also. So he has recovered hundreds of thousands of dollars in seizure money and hundreds of successful investigations involving the prosecution of many drug cases and many drug and violent offenders he's helped put away. Terry's also served as one of our Spanish interpreters, not just in the STAC unit, but on the street, so we're going to continue to use him in that capacity. Monday, we're going to promote you to 2nd shift sergeant and place you at the North Precinct. Very proud of what you've done in your career, and congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
And Officer Shondon Warren. Especially proud of Shondon because back when I was a lieutenant in Special Ops, Shondon brought him over as a traffic task force officer. He was an aggressive, hard-working officer. And I don't mean aggressive in the fact that he liked to write tickets, although I think he did. He wrote his number of them, but he was always working. If he had 10 minutes before the next funeral escort he had to go do, he would be out there doing some kind of traffic feature. He began his career as a counselor at the Richard Showers Center, believe it or not. Mr. Showers is here. to shake his hand. He joined us in 2006. He came to us as an officer from Special Ops, but Monday he's going to be a third shift sergeant in the North Precinct. Congratulations. Very proud of him. In some way, I have had something to do, because I've been here for 29 years, with all of these individuals' careers. We've touched each other in some way. I'm extremely proud of what they've accomplished. And again, I thank the command staff for helping me, and Chief Morris helping me for making these promotions. These weren't just my promotions. They were really his last promotions as well. We worked as a team with this to pick the best suited people we could for these challenges. There were other individuals. We'll be putting out sergeants and lieutenants examinations again probably next month when they come in. So we're looking forward to those as well. At this time, I'd like to ask the significant people who, I told them if they didn't have a friend or significant person, I'd come pin their badge on for them. If you'd like to come forward, I'd like to get your picture of somebody pinning your badge on you, because family is involved in this throughout. Without the strength and support of your family, you can't see and you can't do, and mentally you're really not prepared to go through what you're about to go through on the street. So when you come home and take that gun and badge off and you hang them up in a safe place, the family is always the refuge that grounds you and it makes you feel settled once again. It kind of puts things back in perspective.
Stick 'em, just push it. Just don't worry about it. It'll come out.
Not you.
No, him. You know how that would sound, right?
Not mine.
No, but you know how that would sound.
Hey, he's proud of him too. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming and joining us in this, and I'll present them to you here in just a minute when these spouses figure out how that pin works. Little thing, forgot to tell the officers they need to punch a little hole right there to stick that through. Okay, at this time I'd like to present the newest promotions to the Huntsville Police Department. Monday to take effect. If you would all join me in a hand of applause for what they've accomplished. We knew it was going to be crowded in here. A couple of you told me you were going to bring at least 40 family members, and I think you did. I see people here from church members where we go to church. I see people, my father sitting down here, by the way. He is not only a member of the Senior Crime Prevention Academy, and he's got a badge to prove it, but he's the reason that some of us ride in the front seat of a police car, not the back, if you know what I mean. Our parents have a lot to do with that, so he's here. My brother actually flew in from Illinois, and my wife is right down here on the front row also. So, again, family is very important to all of us. I'd like to meet all of your families, friends. If you'd like to go join us, come over to the Children's Museum across the street. We have some refreshments set up for you. And again, the community has joined in to pitch in for some refreshments. They want to thank these men and women and their families also. So if you'd like to adjourn, it's just a short walk across the street. Come over there and help us with that. It's an Early Works Museum. Early Works. I said Children's Museum. It's a Children's Early Works Museum. As you see, I have some excellent command staff here. They work closely with me. They point out my deficiencies, which I need. They take care of me, and I'll need them. This is the most highly educated group. As we pointed out, they all have master's degrees. All these men up here with me have master's degrees. Many of them have advanced degrees, as you saw, law degrees. A couple of them been to FBI crime academies. It's amazing what they've spent their life accomplishing. So at this time, we're going to adjourn. Let's go over and shake hands at the Early Works Museum.